Ah, okay. Everything is okay now?
Yes, yes. I have a little accident here, so I'm
Yes.
later.
Yeah. No, I was late too. I told you. I
Yes.
finished the other class just in time for this class.
Yes.
So I was very thirsty. Okay.
I know.
So I
Okay.
needed to stop.
Only us?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
yes. What's happening?
I don't know.
Marcos is not here. Not even our silent boy is not here.
I don't
Okay.
know what's
Marcos, I
happening.
think he's having some acarajé or vatapá. Okay.
Yes, always, always. In
Carol,
the yes.
could you please refresh my mind? Do you remember where we stopped in our last class? Because it was
Yes.
100 years ago for me,
Let me
understand?
see, teacher.
And I don't
I
remember.
I don't remember, but I think in the
How do you
yeah,
handle stress? Number 3?
yes,
Here.
yes, exactly,
But
exactly. I read
did,
that.
did we have a chance to read and discuss all the possible responses that you can give? Yes, I
This
think,
yes,
yes,
this topic 3 you
we finished.
we read, you finish in the classes. I think
Okay,
that you need you started the 4.
number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is important to know about number 4? This is the typical question in which there is no right or wrong answer. Understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have not even an experience in this area. Or, as I told you before, you might have to create something like imagine a plot there in order to answer the question. But otherwise, it's possible not to have. Because the question, Marcos has arrived. Okay. Because the question is, describe a difficult work situation or project and how you overcame it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think back about all the jobs you've had in your life, you remember, hello, Marcos.
Hello, teacher.
Hi,
Hello.
Marcos. How are you?
I'm fine with you.
Fine.
Good, good. I'm great here.
Ah,
Only tired. Okay. My wife said since it was Labor Day, it was necessary to work. So oh my gosh. I even washed my car. I think I had never done that in my life. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I needed to do this. My car is, oh my gosh,
Yeah, but you don't live on
terrible.
a farm, huh?
Yeah, now I am living with my parents in like a farm. It's not a real farm, but like a farm in
Yeah,
the middle
but
of no, nothing,
it hasn't
middle
rained
of
here.
nowhere. Yeah.
It hasn't rained here for a while. Oh, it hasn't rained for a while.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
so it's very dry, and the car, my car is black, the original
Mm.
color, but it was kind of brown. Understand?
Yes,
And my
yes.
wife made me wash it everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. And the dog too. The dog was also black, but the dog was also brown. So Marcos, what are we talking about here? Number 4. Oh, describe a difficult work situation or project and how you overcame it. As I have already told Carol, this is the typical question in which there is no right or wrong answer. Okay? What you need is to remember to think back. This is exactly the question I had asked Carol, to think back about any problem, any difficult situation you had in any position you have ever occupied, and how you overcame it. Understand?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you have any example to tell us, Carol? Marcos, do you have any example? Like a project
I
you
don't
were
have it.
working on, you couldn't finalize it.
Yes, in my latest experience, I was responsible for the implementation of signature electronic in the contracts.
Electronic
And
signature. Okay.
yes, and it was very, very challenging because we have a big company and we have a holding, sub-holding, and other 11 companies inside this company. It's a concession of roads, road
Okay.
concession.
Okay.
And we need find a consensus between these companies,
11
ch-
different companies.
exactly
Oh
11
my gosh.
different companies, to I don't know if it's possible to say that, to draw the workflow of the signatory electronic
Procedures.
procedures.
Uh, yeah, it
So
is
it
possible.
was terrible. Yes, to draw
But
is possible to
yes,
draw something.
to
Oh,
draw,
okay.
not to drawing, but with the other sense, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, in the other sense, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
so it was very difficult.
And was it implemented?
Yes, thanks God, yes, was implemented. Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God. Oh my gosh. Always I put in the plural. Okay.
Yes, he thanks. I
He
thank.
thanks. Yeah.
Okay. When you
He
say,
thanks.
I thank God for that. Okay.
Thank God.
But that's a very complicated point because Sergio Moro has been saying that
Oh my
somebody
gosh.
used his.
Yes.
Yeah, have you read that?
Yes.
Somebody
I saw.
used his digital signature.
I heard about this too.
Yes,
Yes.
and he never signed it or even consent to that. Understand?
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
fired the federal police commissioner or something like that from Rio. And
Yeah.
he claims that he never authorized it, but his signature was there.
You
Okay.
have a fail in this proceeding. I don't know what's happened, but oh my gosh, this is a totally bizarre situation, because when you have the in theory, when you have the electronic signature, we have a you receive a password, for example, in your cell phone or in an email, and you have a code and you need to put this code. This is the best way, of course. We have a other ways that it's not necessary you have a code or password, but
Uh,
I don't believe that in this case we don't have a code or password to put in the process when you sign electronic sign. But we need
signature.
yes, we need to understand what's happened, because oh my gosh, this is totally
Unacceptable.
unacceptable. Yes,
It's like
Unacceptable.
a token. The
unacceptable.
code is like a token that you can.
Yes, exactly. You choose what type of security of level the security that you have. Sometimes you receive it by SMS, a code, a password. Sometimes
That
by
is
mail.
valid for a few hours only,
Yes,
probably.
exactly. And sometimes do you need to put it, take your picture, your photo. Sometimes
Yes?
depends of the level of security you choose in this process.
Yeah. So this accusation is quite serious
Very
because
serious.
based on
Yeah.
what you said, somebody hacked or used his electronic signature illegally. Understand?
Yeah. And you have it's possible when you have the electronic signature, you have I don't know this word in English, rastreabilidade by IP of
Traceability. Trace.
traceability,
What is
Yes.
traceability
face?
To
of
trace.
the IP of the computer or the
Yes.
cell phone that responsible for this
Yeah.
signatory.
Yes. So they can discover, they can trace it
Exactly.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Mark,
Hi, I'm
I
here.
know that life in Bahia is kind of relaxing, but you really
Oh,
can't remember of any difficult work situation, or work
I
has
hope
always been a walk in the park?
Oh, teacher, I hope the life in here it wasn't like this, but it's not. There is a, I was trying to remember something in my job, but I remember now about
uh,
the I think last year, not last year, but because all the time my job have projects to do for the companies, for
uh,
the industrial companies like Braskem, Oxiteno, and other things. And
you
every
guys are outsourced to
yeah,
develop something. Yes.
yeah, it's like this. And all the year this company has a big stop, like they have to stop all the instruments, the process to put the new ones, to recognize the things there, to regularize the process, because it's like
To set up is better.
to set up. So to
Yes,
set
set
up,
up is better. To
to
set
set up,
up.
because they have to do this because the government demand this from him.
Yeah. And I
And
think not only government, but also the international standardization organizations require you to follow certain standards. Understand?
yeah, the insurance too. I think the
Yes.
big problem for them is the insurance, because
Yes.
if they don't follow these rules, the insurance don't pay
For
the
any damages. Yes.
yes, yes. And in this kind of projects, you have a lot of projects to organize in the same time. Like I think last year I had 11 projects in the same time to figure out how I would do the things, and all the projects had the same deadline.
Jesus. 11.
Easy, easy. The piece of cake.
But
Yeah.
how many engineers work in your team?
Uh, in my team, it was it was three, but because of these 11 projects, you have some kind of a contract,
Interns.
not interest, but you have some a type of contract that you can hire some people just for that project, a specific project.
Temps. Temps.
Temps, yes,
Have you ever heard this? Temporary
Tem-
workers.
Temporary work. Okay.
Temps.
yes,
Temps.
TMP. Temps.
temps. I
Yeah.
never heard this expression, temps.
Me too neither.
Uh, yes, it's very common to see it in movies. Okay, like, do you work here? Oh no, I'm just a temp. You
Uh,
know, that means she has been hired to replace someone who is on vacation or on a maternity leave. Understand?
Mm.
So it's a temporary worker. Okay, but they abbreviate as everything in English to temp.
like you
And
hired a temp guy,
workers,
yeah, temp worker to help us. Like you hired one temp worker and one intern,
interns. Okay.
yes, to help us. But it was
And were you able to meet the deadlines?
yes, because if you're not, you have to to get into the dead to give all the priority into the deadline,
I
because
see.
of because otherwise the client you have a big problem. So you
I
don't have
imagine.
the other option, like you don't follow the deadline.
Yes, and probably in a situation like this, you also have a fine for not meeting the deadlines, okay? Like a
I
penalty, you
yes,
know?
you have.
Like if you don't do it, you have to pay us this amount, okay? And usually those established penalties or fines are not low, okay?
And you if you don't do this, like your reputation, you'll be so
Goes
bad.
down the drain.
Down the drain,
Yes,
down the drain. Your reputation of your company down the drain because
go down the drain.
down
Desce
the
pelo
Drain.
ralo.
Mm.
nice.
Yes,
Down the
go
drain.
down the drain. Okay.
And nowadays the engineers companies leave because of their reputations. So if your reputation of your company down the drain, you will lose all
Goes
your
down the
clients.
drain, you lose the clients. Yes. I thought, honestly speaking, now, okay, seriously speaking, I thought the only difficult situation or problem you would have in Bahia was to decide if you wanted like light, mild, or hot acarajé or something like that. Understand?
Oh, teacher, they're
I
not being
thought
so easy
that
like
was the kind decision, you know, like you want it hot or cold. I don't know. Gotta think about. How about some music? Okay.
No, it's not
This
that
is a
way.
prejudice, Marcos.
Yeah, please, Carol.
I'm not prejudiced. I'm just thinking that, in my opinion, I thought, okay.
In the
The
past.
worst that I agree with the teacher, Marcos.
Oh
Sorry.
my god. Oh my god.
You see?
But
You see?
for the all the people that live outside Bahia and North states, I
Uh,
think the same way that you guys. So
Yes.
don't worry.
It's a,
so you have to prove us that we are wrong, okay?
yes, Marcos.
You
We
have
always
to
stay here in the classes.
arrive in time, okay? Arrive in
Easy.
time.
Almost.
Yeah. Arrive in time for class, do all your homework, and then you prove us that you guys are really serious. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Carol, read this for us.
Yes.
Describe a difficulty.
Describe a difficult work situation, project, and how you overcame it. There is no right or wrong answer to questions like what are the most difficult decisions to make, or describe a difficult work situation, project, and how you overcome it. These are behavioral interview questions designed to discover how,
Just a moment.
okay, how you handle certain situations. The logic behind these types of questions is that how you behaved in the past is a predictor of what
Predictor.
of what you will do in the future.
Yes, that's the important thing, you know, like what you have done in the past and how you overcame it will probably enable the company that is interested in your job to predict how you will react in the future. If you have, okay, like if Marcus had said something like, but since all the deadlines were the same and there were 11 projects, we couldn't finalize one of them. He didn't overcome the problem, understand? So there was a lot of pressure. We broke down. So yes, Carol, you were going to ask me
Teacher,
something.
by the way, there is a word that I use for example, in Brazil we have expression, my English or my Spanish or my Italian, blah blah, is it's wrong in English, but it's rusty. In Portuguese, we
Yes,
use
it's the
that.
same expression in English.
It's the same.
The same,
Okay.
exactly. It's rusty. Yes.
Okay. Can I use that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
What is this?
Today I was talking to. I used this today. I was talking to an
Really?
Italian. Yeah, an Italian friend of mine who is the president of a large construction consortium. You know the word consortium also
Yes.
exists in English. And I was just talking to him in Italian, and I made some mistakes. So I just used this. It's the same in every language. It's rusty.
Okay.
You know?
Rusty. Okay.
Yes.
Rusty.
Marcos,
Yeah.
I don't know how can I explain that for you in English.
But I'm looking
Sorry,
in the Google.
teacher.
You don't know what's rusty?
No, you're doing. So
It's very easy to explain. You don't need to
I
ask
know,
Google.
but I
Ask
forgot.
me. Ask me, I know.
What is rusty?
Okay. I told you that my wife is a chef, okay?
Yeah.
And one of the areas of expertise that she has is to prepare a lot of things using sourdough or levain or pasta madre or lievito, which is a natural fermentation process. Understand? It takes like 2 or 3 days to prepare a bread or to prepare a pizza dough. And then everything has, like the bread, particularly the bread, has to be cooked in the oven inside of an iron pan. Understand? Iron? Okay. So she has a bunch of iron pans with different sizes where she bakes the bread inside of the iron pan. But these iron pans are a pain in the ass because they are made of iron, cast iron, and in contact with humidity, in contact with the weather, and she needs to spray the bread before taking them into the oven to get a very crunchy crust. What happens? The iron starts rusting. Understand? It's typical in metal. Okay.
I see. Yeah.
And then she needs to wash them with vinegar and other things to remove the rust or the rustiness. Understand?
Yes.
So this is typical. Like I was not here for some time and I needed something in my toolbox. And I think it was outside and it got water inside. So all my screwdrivers, most of my tools were rusted. Understand?
In beach houses, common the electronic equipment was rust.
Yes, they
In
get
Salvador,
rust.
it's so common. This.
Yeah, because you are in front of the ocean. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, and then you can say that. Sorry, my English is a bit rusty because I haven't had a chance to practice in a long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Marcos, can you read the other part? Give concrete examples.
Okay. Give concrete examples of
Just a moment. Okay.
Give concrete examples of difficult situations that actually happened.
Actually happened
at work. Then discuss what you did to solve the problem. Keep your answers positive, even though it was difficult when Danny Doe
quit
without
notice.
Notice you are able to rearrange the department workload to cover the position till a replacement was
Hired.
And be specific. Itemize what you did and how you did it.
Okay, I'd like to talk about one thing here. I don't know if you have any question, but I would like to talk. I don't know if you have ever seen a police movie in which they have a suspect. If the suspect is a man, it's always called John Doe.
No.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Like the John Doe, they never mention the name, the real name of the suspect for obvious legal reasons. Okay. Because if the guy is not really the criminal, they can be in trouble. So they always use, it's a kind of a convention to say the John Doe or Janie Doe or Mary Smith, because these names don't really exist. Mary Smith maybe, but Janie Doe or John Doe. So here was just a fictitious name used. Okay, even though it was difficult when Janie Doe quit without notice, that means somebody stopped working without telling them, we were able to rearrange the department workload to cover the position until a replacement was hired. Okay? So what you have to do is prepare yourself in advance because you have to give a concrete example. Okay? In this case, it's practically impossible to imagine, to create an imaginary situation, because if they ask you one specific question, and you don't know the answer, they will discover that you are making it up. Understand? That you are inventing it. So just like Mark said, like Carol said, it was difficult to implement the electronic signature because of there were many different companies involved. But little by little, we were able to present, to show, to convince all the companies in the consortium, okay, to accept the new regulations and blah, blah, blah. So the best way, I'm going to read, the best way to prepare for questions where you need to recall events and actions is to refresh your memory and consider some special situations you have dealt is the past participle of deal with, or projects you have worked on. You can use them to help frame responses. Understand? Like you have a response that has been already pre-elaborated. Prepare stories that illustrate times when you have successfully solved a difficult situation. Understand? Like I said, the decision between a hot or a mild vatapá or a carajé. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. What it means itemize it, teacher?
To put in items.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That's why
Okay.
it's itemize what you did. Like I first did this, after that I called this, and then I did that.
Okay.
Okay?
This is a bullet points.
Yes, yes. Like Marcus could say, what we did is each engineer became responsible for 2 projects, okay? And we tried, of course, to provide all the necessary backup or support they needed, okay? But it's itemized, go item by item, okay?
Okay.
So how do you evaluate success? This is also a question used nowadays. Understand? During an interview, your interviewer might ask a question like, how do you evaluate success? A question like this gives you potential, gives your potential employer a sense of your work ethic, your goals, and your overall personality. Okay? So pay attention to what is possible to do and not to do here. Carol, you read it first.
Okay. In your answer, you should be cognizant
See
of
the word again here, remember?
Yeah, exactly. Of the type of job you are applying for. Whereas a large corporation might place all their emphasis on the bottom line, emphasis on the bottom line, and
Non-profit.
no profit would measure success not in money but in a social impact. Do your research before the interview. Browse the company's website. Research their presence in the news and media, and see if you can find any information about their mission statement.
Yes. Oh, let's understand this very well. For some companies, what is the only target they have?
Sorry, teacher.
Earn money?
Of course. For some companies, the only
Profit,
target is the profit, the money. Understand? So that's why the suggestion is to do some search on the internet to find what is the mission of the company. You understand? If it's a capitalist company, you have to prove them that success will be achieved when the profits become higher. Understand? But what if it's a non-profit organization? I don't know if anyone will ever look for a job in a non-profit organization. But it's not money that counts. It's the social impact, okay? Like that Doctors Without Borders, okay? They need money to continue their job, but they are not interested in having like $1 million positive at the end of the month in their checking account. Probably if they have $1 million, they will buy more vaccines and more medicine for people in Africa or places like that. Understand? So because the idea is not money, it's the impact they're causing in the society. Okay? And so your answer depends on the kind of company you're applying for.
Yes, exactly.
Understand
Teacher,
this, Mark? Yes, Carol.
I worked in a big company. I think I commented here in the Korean company. In this Korean company, the important is not. Sometimes we have a problem with the damages in the media and what else. But the important for these Koreans guy is not this type of impact, only the profit. So I think that depends of the company. But in the normal companies, the impact in the media, for example, sometimes is more important than immediately profit or money.
Immediate profit. Yes.
Yes, but
Yes.
in this company specific, oh my gosh, no,
They didn't care about the impact.
no, no.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah,
why. That's why if you do your homework well, you
yeah,
discover what is the aim of the company. Understand? And
yeah.
then you can prove that by doing what you did in the past, the profit of your company increased like by 20%. So they might think, oh my gosh, 20% increase, that's a lot. So this girl's good. Understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like you have to convince them that you are very hiring us, you'll be good for the company.
Yes, yes.
yes,
Valuable asset. Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
I I it's interesting. I remember one company that I applied for a job in Brussels. I remember I got a very short, straight answer from the woman, from the director saying, like this: I'm sorry, we only hire people whose mother tongue is English. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm.
just wrote her, oh, thank you very much for your prompt reply. I just would like to say that sometimes experience can surpass any ability that mother tongue teachers can have, because after being teaching for 35 years, I'm sure that I have more experience in teaching than most of the people that you are looking for. And
Oh,
then it's funny, she wrote
a
me
big
back.
answer.
Yeah, she wrote me back and said, can you come next Tuesday for a personal interview? I thought she had, I was just thanking her for taking the time to consider my application, but I wanted to say a little bit more. And it's funny because I went for the job interview and she hired me immediately. Understand?
Oh, very nice.
Very good.
Yes, yes, it was very funny. My brother was sitting in the car outside when I came out. I was looking very sad, and he said, she didn't take you. I said, no, she did. She started on Monday. He said, you're kidding me. And when I told him what she offered me, he said, fuck me. I've been here for so many years, and she offered you like 3 times more than I earn. Understand? I said, well,
Sorry.
sorry about that. Okay, Marcus,
Hi.
sorry. Can you read the second part? Of course,
Of course, you also want to include aspects of your own personality in your answers. If there's an area where your values overlap with the company's, then make sure they emphasize that in the interview. But
yes.
you also want to make sure you give a balanced answer, illustrating a
Dynamic, folks,
dynamic focus on improvise your own performance,
improving.
improve, improving,
Yeah, don't improvise, improve.
yeah, improving your own performance, further,
Furthering.
furthering your company's mission and make a positive impact overall.
Yes. Do you understand the part that says where your values overlap with the
Mm-hmm.
companies?
Yeah.
Okay, one overlaps. Okay, like you do have the same values of the company. This is great. Understand? Is there any other problem about this part or no?
No.
No.
No?
No.
No.
Oh, here we have some sample answers. Carol, can you read the first one?
Yes. I evaluated success in different ways. At work, it is meeting the goals set by my supervisor and my fellow workers.
Fellow workers.
Fellow works. It is my understanding from talking to other employees that the GGR
That's
company
just an example.
is recognizing
Recognize,
for not only
rewarding,
rewarding
success.
success, but giving employees opportunity to grow as well. After work, I enjoy play softball, so success on the field is catching the, oh my gosh, winning pop up,
Pop up.
pop up, yeah, pop up.
Okay.
What means winning? Pop up, winning.
Yeah, he enjoys playing softball. So success on the field is catching the winning pop up. That
Okay,
means
okay.
winning a game, you know, that's
Again, okay.
outside company. You see, that's a personal thing. You
Yeah.
know, he showed that success for him outside the company is this. Okay. Marcos could say, outside company, success for me is driving around with my crush, enjoying the sunset at the Farol da Barra.
Oh
Understand?
my gosh, this is so beautiful.
Yeah, you see? So you don't have to talk only about work, because many times they are also interested in your social life. This is particularly true when you have to work in teams. So a very funny question used by the oil companies is, what kind of sports do you like practicing? Many people write jogging, swimming. This is horrible for them because jogging and swimming are things that you do alone. And to work on a platform, oil offshore platform, you have to work always in large teams. So if you say, I love playing soccer with my friends, basketball, these are team sports. So even, you see, sometimes you are, I remember once a guy told me, oh, I love jogging and working out. I said, okay, if you answer this, you never get the job. He said, why? I'm always in good health. I said, yes, but you jog alone, you work out alone. They are not looking for lonely people. You're not going to work in a laboratory. You're not going to be a scientist trying to discover the vaccine for the COVID-19. Understand? You're applying for a job in an offshore platform. He said, what am I going to do? I said, just say you love playing soccer with your friends, basketball, volleyball. He said, I don't even know.
RPG, role-playing game.
Yes, but this is also something, okay, you play with other people. I agree. But you play alone in your house. You isolate yourself. Understand? So you have to be sociable at the same time to be in a team. And I remember the guy told me, oh, but I don't even know how to play soccer. I'm not going to say that. And I told him, do you think they will give you a soccer ball and ask you to kick around? Understand? They just want to know if you are sociable enough to work in a team. And the guy said, okay, I'll try that. And he's been working there for more than 10 years now. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, teacher, fellow works is a co-works that I like.
Co-workers. No.
No, it's the same co-workers.
Fellow is the same of like friends, okay?
My fellow
Co-workers.
friends.
Yes, fellow friends, fellow workers, okay? Every time the president of the United States is going to talk on TV, he always starts, my fellow Americans, okay?
Okay. Understood.
Marcos, read the second one for us. We are over already. For me,
For me, success is about doing my job well. I want to be recognized as someone who always does the best and tries their hardest to make my goals.
Short answer, simple answer, one that you can even memorize and demonstrate that you are a hardworking guy, you know, that you do always your best to achieve the best. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
So there are more possible answers. And then I'd like you to think about number 6,
Mhm.
okay? Because they probably ask you, why are you leaving or have already left your present job?
This is
And
difficult answer.
yes, yes, I know. That's why you can prepare something and tomorrow we can discuss in class. Maybe I can help you with some tips, okay? Marks too.
I have my answer for this one.
Oh, really?
I have two, but I never know what's the reaction.
Yeah, but this is something very important to be aware of. Don't badmouth your boss.
Of course. And in the latest experience or company, you know.
Okay, this is terrible because if you are bad mouthing your boss, like my boss was a son of a gun, understand? And what happens? It shows that you are not ethical, understand?
Yes.
So if you have no idea how to create your answer, here there are some. So maybe you can elaborate on yours, okay? There are some, many examples. Why do you want this job? You can also draw something, draft something, you know, sketch something, and then I can just correct with you. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Right? I'll see you guys
Marcos,
tomorrow.
teacher, tell to Marcos the good news. The classes continues.
Woo! This is good.
Yes, I hope it's going to be good for you. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you see, as I said, sometimes you don't do things for money. Understand?
Yeah.
I have told the company that I'm not interested in a penny. Understand? I just wanted to finish what I have started. Understand?
Yeah.
And the situation is not good for any company of similar to this company, understand? It's probably the worst moment all travel agency and educational companies are going through ever.
Yes.
Okay? I can tell you because I was already in this market in 2001 after the World Trade Center attack, and the situation was critical, but decreased only the number of applicants interested in going to the USA, afraid of more possible attacks. But the rest of the world continued the same. But now it's a global thing, understand?
Yes.
So I have some students in other classes there that are in Malta. Oscar is in Canada.
Canada.
Understand? You came back from Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a difficult time. I'm going to be honest with you. I have never seen a situation like this in my entire life. Okay.
Yes, it's a new situation.
But yeah, we are all in the same boat. So we have to do what it's possible to do. Okay.
Yes.
I told my wife, I depend on you now. She's the breadwinner of the family. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Since she likes baking bread, so it's a good way. She's the breadwinner. Okay? At least if she cannot sell what she's been making, we can eat. Okay? So money is not the important thing now. Okay? So see you guys tomorrow. All right?
Very
Bye.
good, teacher. See you. See you, Marcos.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good evening, okay? Bye-bye.
For you too. Bye bye.
Bye.